how did you end up becoming a professional gift wrapper?
Oh yeah, we've got to get onto that, haven't we? Okay. So I love these, we just go from one tangent to the other.
I'm
I
sorry, I'm very ADD, but I promise, like, I will keep us on track, even though it seems like I have no method to my madness.
I'm probably the worst one out of the two of us, don't worry. Uh, I did loads of traveling as a kid. My dad's, he was a farmer, and usually farmers don't leave their patch, but he, big traveler. I've got relations out in the US, so lots of trips out across the pond, and used to go to New York, went off to Tokyo because my grandmother's goddaughter lived there, went, all around Europe, and things were beautifully wrapped. I'm going back 35 years ago, where it would just be, I don't know, bar of soap for your grandmother, souvenir, brown paper string, bit
Mm.
of orange slice. And yet when you came back to the UK, it was rubbish. It was just any purchase thrown in a plastic bag, off you go. US were good. And I just thought, you know what, there's a massive gap in the market. I'm going to fill that gap, and I'm going to get the UK to gift wrap. And I remember my parents at the dinner table. My dad said, Jane, it will never work. And I just went, watch me, Dad. So that was
So,
the
as a
best.
teenager, you had a vision of somehow creating a gift wrapping business. Am I following the plot line?
Yeah, I was probably, I mean, I was a sort of a florist then. I used to make handmade cards. I had a big business doing that back in about 94, something like that. And I just saw a gap in the market, and I thought, I'm going to fill it. And I didn't have big dreams, Shawn. It was just, let's just suck it and see. I didn't do terribly well at school. I didn't get, go to business school, no business plans, nothing like that. I just started. I went and got my teaching certificate and started.
And so naturally, you clearly were arts and crafty. Like, you had a knack for taste, style, color, cutting, pasting, whatever. You're good. You're clearly gifted. The tree behind you, if it's any indication of her decor sense, is beautiful. Um, but like, do you take a class for gift wrapping? Like, how do you know what to do, and how did you start?
Right, two questions there. So I started, I'd got all these ideas from my travels and just went to teaching, got my teaching certificate at college after 3 months, learned how to write a course. And I suppose for the first 5 years, I was sort of, it works, but it doesn't work. One class would be fully booked. The next one, I'd have no bookings or maybe one person, and just thought, is this really worth it? And I used to go off abroad a lot. We'd go off to somewhere like Thailand, bring back the mulberry paper, that recycled paper with the leaves and the flowers in.
Oh
And
yeah, oh yeah.
you couldn't buy it 3 decades ago. So I used to bring suitcases back and sell it and do really well. And then I was approached by Country Living magazine. I know it's over in the US. And they said, we have a fair in London. Do you want to take a stand? So I took a big risk because it was quite a bit of money then. It was probably about $1,000 back then. And I thought, I'll take the risk. I'll advertise my courses with some little printed leaflets, because this is how long ago, Shawn, it is. There was not even internet then. That's how long ago it was. So I
Oh,
used
I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah.
the good old
Like, I
fashioned
I went the good
phone.
old fashioned old days. Yeah, remember the voicemails that you would leave on an actual tape recorder? Yeah, so I get you. I get you. So this is what, 80s or not early 90s?
Early 90s. And
Okay.
so, yeah, it was just very, very slow. And then Country Living said, actually, would you do the wrapping at our London fair? And I was very honest and said, I'll train a friend, I'll give it a go. And then I was fine until they put the crowd control barriers up, those like velvet ropey barriers. And then I thought, what on earth have I done? But we were so busy because they subsidised the stand, and we had luxury ribbons, and I think we were charging, £1.50 or £2, which is what, $2 or $3 for a really luxury
So wait,
service.
can I pause you there? So this is a kind of fair slash posh flea market. There are vendors, they have their stands, and it's
Yeah,
like a Christmas market. And you go and you buy things, and then you end up in this velvet rope area where, if you want them to be professionally wrapped, here are Jane and her friend, right?
yeah, you got it, you got it. Now, funny enough, I've been there today because I've been on stage talking with a whole load of other celebrities on stage. And how funny, here we are chatting about how I started, and I've been there today.
Ah! Okay, so now this obviously goes well. People like Jane's gift wrapping. And were you doing something unique, fresh, crazy? Like what do you recall as being the gift wrap that you were doing that was so sensational that now you're off and running?
I think I was lucky, Sean, that I did lots, and I still do lots of traveling. And I would, although I've got, 250,000 rolls of ribbon in stock somewhere, I'm still buying ribbons when I go to Paris or, Austria. I'm an addict, really. And I think I was lucky that I used to just bring lots of products back from abroad and sell them because you couldn't get them in this country. And that's really, I think, where it started.
Okay, so now in I think like 1995, your company is formally born, right? Like you are we are doing this, Jane. We're doing it. Did we have to leverage? I love how I'm using we as if I was with you the whole time.
You
That would have
so are.
been great. But did you have to like take all your savings? Did you sell your house? Like how did you finance this? Was it hard in the beginning? I have no idea if you come from means, although I presume with dad as a farmer, you didn't. You're not coming from super means. So tell me, like, how are you getting your first big client?
Okay, so I very, very supportive mum. My dad was sort of supportive, but my mum was very, very supportive, still is. And oh, you've started on the wine. Cheers.
Oh, outstanding!
I was
Do you
hanging
know?
on.
No, don't hang on at all. I mean, have that cute little Ian come in and give you a refill if you need it. We always drink wine on this podcast. In fact, today I didn't think I was going to, but it was sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I just need a little, let's lubricate the pipes. So, okay, please keep going.
Lubricate the voice. I've forgotten what the question was. I've got to that age where
I know that's fine. I have that effect on people. I said, how did you get your first big client? Because obviously, look, you should know, Jane, you can pass or tap out on anything that I ask you, but you know I'm going to ask you to name whatever names you can, and if you can't, you can say it rhymes with
yeah.
Dean Elizabeth, but whatever. So but I want to know, like, because you're not just rapping for your neighbor George. At some point we go to Singapore and Monaco, and you're the gift wrap guru. So people are hiring you, L'Oreal and Chanel, and then major celebrities. So I need to know, like, yeah, but how do you get that first big client?
Yeah. So I literally was on a major budget of £100. That was my starter. And my mum said, okay, let's get you started. You can use our farm accountant. Just keep your receipts in a shoebox. Off I went to little village halls, sold some wares, made a bit of money, reinvested it, bought some more bits from abroad. And then fast forward, here I am now bringing containers in from all around the world with various products and obviously trying to keep it local if I can with air miles. But that's how I started. And it was all word of mouth. It was doing a lot of work for free. I would, because there was no internet, no social media, it was just going to, say, a village hall and handing out leaflets, doing a bit of free wrapping at a supermarket head office. So it was all about networking. And, I was doing that today. I'm still doing it 30 years later, schmoozing around, trying to graft through life.